many people approach even the Genesis wrongfully. Why? Because some people acquire birth certificates illegally.
Okay.
Yes. And then after acquiring the birth certificates illegally means that it's either they've altered their age, their date of birth, their place of birth, their mother's name, their parents' name, whatsoever that is ideal or that is unique to them as persons or individuals. So it will carry it forward to your passport, which is your international identification. So right from the Genesis, you've gotten it wrong. If the person stated that, as I mentioned, that we are going to see other tour sites, meaning there should be proof of already booked tickets to such tourist destinations. People miss that a lot. You state we are going to visit this crocodile, we are going to go to waterfalls, we are going here, but you have nothing that shows that you are already registered prior to your visit or even your invite. So those things are very important, though very negligent.
If you haven't subscribed to the PV Show, remember to click on the subscription button down there to subscribe to the PV Show. I really wanted us to delve into maybe when you are going for school.
Okay, very important. Very important.
What are some of the process you have to go through if it's for education?
Okay. Yeah. I'm very much interested in the education aspect because this year, I think my top clients are all students.
Wow.
To various countries, Europe, to Canada, to US, to Australia, China. China, they are not able to travel this year, but they are going to travel next year. So a lot of my clients this year are actually students. So if you are talking about traveling as a student, then as I mentioned earlier in my previous statement, you are supposed to have had some education in your country of residence or origin. So let's take a typical master's student, for example. Someone wants to go to Germany to study. The first thing you are looking at is that I'm going to study master's. Have I completed an undergraduate course in my country? Yes, let's pick it from someone who had completed an undergraduate course. Then you look at what program you studied in your previous academic module, your previous undergraduate program. If it is business related program, you don't have to necessarily look at going to study the same program as you studied. That is why we have transcripts of records. You studied various courses in your program. Some were major, 3 credit hours, 6, and then a whole lot. So, and others were just 1 credit hour. So you look at, there's a way we are able to analyze your transcript to tell you that you stand a great chance of getting admission into reading this particular program based on your transcript, if I'm able to say it. Why? I will scan through your transcript and see the major courses that you read under your program. So all those major courses that you covered, meaning you covered longer models or you were able to go deeper into it, that you can further in that area. So it doesn't necessarily mean that if you did development studies, undergraduate, go to development studies in masters. No, people get that wrong. So they try and try at the same, but they don't get admission. So you have to not only look at your program, look at your courses, the majors. We have minors and we have major. We have major courses that you read under your program. Your program is the main subject, the main program you chose during your undergraduate session. But your courses are the models you took during your studies. So your major ones are the ones you did for higher credit hours. So sometimes when you look at your transcript, you see some of them 3, some 1, some 2. That's the credit hours, meaning the major ones are the ones that you covered within a longer credit hour. Or
so the highest the number
exactly. So those major ones, if you see some of them, you take let's say quantitative 1 in level 100, you go to level 200, you see quantitative 2, you see quantitative 3. Such a program, though you did development studies, you can go and read masters in quantitative analysis. And then you get good admission because it is something you've covered a lot of credit hours in that. So don't focus only on the program subject that is exactly that. No. So you look at the majors. Not only consider the majors, then you look at the requirements of the institution that you are going to study. Basically, you should be able to have had a pass in your undergraduate level. So first class, second class upper, second class lower, third class, and then pass.
Oh, okay. So they accept pass too.
There is pass, but it is in rare cases.
Okay.
I will teach you one dynamic to apply for a master's program with a pass and gain admission.
Wow.
There's a trick. There's a way you are able to buttress your undergraduate document with other proficiency exams to propel you to get admission. So let's say I have my first class, second class, upper or lower. Good. I can apply for the program, though it is dependent on the course. Some require that you have second class at least. Some require first class at least, so it depends on where you are going to. Typically, Germany, a lot of business-related program, you can apply up to second class lower. And then you get a good provided you covered longer credit hours in your previous academic studies. That's great. So we get that right. I have a pass. I don't want to go and do another undergraduate. What do I do? It depends on your program.
Okay.
And the country you are going to. You can get a proficiency exams. For example, an IELTS. That's English proficiency exam. Write it, pass.
Wow.
GRE. Write it. Graduate I think record maths. You can get a GMAT is also there. Write it, pass. Add those proficiency exams or proficiency certificates to your pass and then apply for a program. You are likely to get, depending on the institution. And it's not always successful, but at least it is an approach you can consider. So basically, you have to consider that. And as a student, you should know that if you are going as a student and you are going to pay your own tuition, then you should be financially fit. If you are not sponsoring yourself, you know whom your sponsor is. If it is a father, an uncle, a relative, the person should be financially stable to be able to support you. Now, we know how to get the admission. You have your transcript, you know where to apply, and then you have your requirements. Then you apply to an institution. Provided you get a feedback, an admission offer, then you look at your visa aspect. Generally, most of the countries have their own financial requirements. But the typical trick is that look at the cost involved in your studies for the first 1 year. For example, if you are going to study masters in quantitative analysis, then you should see that, let's say if you are going to Germany, your tuition, Germany mostly you're able to get a tuition cover. But let's say you get an institution where you are going, a business school in Germany, that you are going to pay tuition fee, and the tuition is 12,000 euros per annum. Look at the 12,000 euros for the first year. Make sure that you have that adequate fund in your coffers if you are sponsoring yourself, or the sponsor should have that amount. It shouldn't end there. Then you look at where you are going, the living expenses. For example, if you are going to any province or stay in any part of Germany as a student, it is estimated that typically international students spend like 861 euros per month for their accommodation. That's where they stay, their hostel, their train and then bus passes, their feeding, their laundry services, and then other miscellaneous. It is estimated that you spend around 861 euros. So if you are looking at 861 euros per month, then look at having that amount times 12, meaning for your first year of stay. That is giving you like 10,332 euros. So 10,332 euros plus 12,000 euros of your tuition for the first year. That is around 25,000 euros. And now the euro is around 7.1 to a Ghana cedi. So you are looking at multiplying that 25,000 euros by 7. So then you can shake your pocket and say that, am I ready to go? Or I will not go.
Wow.
You multiply by 7, you should have that. Lo and behold, a lot of people are able to get tuition offer. You can get tuition free in part of Europe, especially Germany. Almost all my students who have traveled to Germany this year, almost all of them had tuition free.
But what about
program?
Finland?
We have part institution like that give scholarship in Finland too. So in that case, the tuition aspect is off your shoulder. So you are looking at the burden of the 10,332 euros. You should have that amount. And before you even apply for the visa for Germany, they require that in order not for you to become a public charge, we have taken care of your tuition. What shows that when you come to our country, you'll be able to survive. So they require that you open an account in Germany, transfer these funds that I've mentioned, 10,332 euros, into your German account. That's your own money. Some people ask, what if they are fraudsters? How will I get my money? It is your own money. Every month, as I mentioned, they estimate that you spend 861 euros. So every month, you can take 861 euros from your account when you get to Germany. Wow. So you transfer that amount in the form of block, we call it block funds or block account. Okay. You transfer that into your account there before we even apply for the visa. Wow. There is an alternative route to that. That is in the instance where you have a relative, a friend, or anybody who is a resident or a citizen in Germany. The person can send you a guarantee letter that, oh, I am going to take care of this person. I'm going to accommodate this person. I'm going to support this person. In that case, they will assess the person's financial status there, whether or not the person is able to accommodate a foreigner. If the person passes that through their jury session or their law something, then they gazette it for him. He will post it to you by post mail, not email. Post mail, original copy. You go for that, then we use that instead of the block funds. In that case, you are free from what? Getting your block funds.
Wow.
That's typically of Germany. It applies to other countries. Let's look at a country that you don't have to open block funds there. Canada or US. You don't have to transfer your money there to open block account, but they require in the same vein that you have that amount in your bank account. If it is your sponsor should have that amount. Note, a lot of people try and then they wait till they get to that a month or two before their visa application, then the foreign funds, boom, 30,000, 100,000, 1 billion in their account. Over just within a month, so they have that amount because they are going for visa interview. Why? You will easily be denied. What they look at, that's what they require, that you have track record for 6 months. Okay. So if you intend traveling, try to pass all your funds through your account consecutively for the past 6 months, so that they will see the inflow and the outflow and know that this is not foreign money there. Where did you get that money from? 1 billion. Whilst your previous transactions were mobile money, airtime, 5 cedis, mobile money, 2 cedis, and even some people's accounts have been debited that they owe the bank. Then all of a sudden, the month that you are applying for a visa, you have 1 billion. You know, even if I'm the consulate, I'll look at it with one of my eyes and then I'll push it off, you know. So we should be able to look at all that. Make sure your money, you have the inflow, that we will see that, oh, indeed, this person has previous transaction in that order. So because of that, we will be able to what? To accept it. So that is it for the other countries who do not require block funds. Have that amount. If it is Canada, almost all the provinces, aside Montreal, that's Quebec, I think almost all of them, you require to have at least 10,500 Canadian dollars. That's your living expense for a year. Okay. Montreal or Quebec is very expensive. So they require that at least you have 11,000 or 11,500 Canadian dollars in your account, which the Canadian dollar is around 5 point something Ghana cedis. In Ghana cedis. So you multiply by that figure, have that amount in Ghana cedis. Wow. Yes. So that is it for the student. Make sure you get all your supporting documents, your passes, get your sponsor's account, your sponsor's employment, and then letter, and then all that, so that you be able to. And one important thing for it, for other most of the consulate for students, is that you should have a statement of purpose, not the one you use for your application, your admission application, but what you are talking about yourself, what you are going to, what you are looking at. Why did you choose that country? What will make you come back? What have you identified? Why didn't you study the same program in your country? There's nursing in Ghana, but you say you are going to Canada. Why are you going to Canada whilst there is Ghana, which is cheaper? If you don't have an ulterior motive, you should prove that in writing, because Canada, there is no interview. So you don't have time before the consulate to defend yourself. Every other thing you are using to defend yourself is your paper. For Canada, you don't have opportunity to appear before a consulate. The only thing you do is to go for biometric enrollment, and nobody is going to query, come and explain, no, or defend yourself. It's not like Germany that you'll be interrogated before the panel. Why do you go? No. So Canada, draft a competitive, compelling, attractive statement of purpose. Explain everything why you want them to come, but don't make it lengthy. Limit it to at most 2 pages. If best, make it just a page. Just a page, because no one is able to sit down for that long period to read a lot of applications. So make it just a page, but very concrete, concise, and then precise. And you are good to go.
Wow. I'm sure you are benefiting from this particular interview. We are still with Miss Abigail Opoku, and she is the managing director of Joylink Travel Consult. Finally, we want to look at the dangers of traveling wrong.
Okay.
What are some of the dangers? What can happen if I happen to take my own, route, do my own thing to get to where I want to get to? Yeah.
Okay, so before we even look at the dangers, we should have digested what other travel wrongs are. So you can travel wrong if your purpose of traveling is for work, but you go through education. That is one danger. Your purpose of traveling there is to go and work. It's not to go and study because you don't have any money. So you use education because they tell you, hey, use education. Or Canada, they use education. That's all. They will give it to you. So you use the education. You've traveled wrong. One, the consequences with regards to that is that when you get there, for every study visa or study permit in Canada, for Canada to study in Canada, has limited number of hours per week that you can work. And they are all casual jobs. So if you applied for a study visa and you had your way, note that you have within a week 21 hours within the whole week to work. so 21 hours per week to work, and they are all casual jobs, and you cannot exceed that time limit. Nobody will employ you more than that, because if you are going for a job, they require your permit. If you're a student, they know you are restricted to this number of hours, so they will give you job within that short time, and you'll be paid hourly. So your intentions would be aborted. The only thing people do is that when they go, they throw that visa away somewhere, they throw that passport away somewhere, then they'll be hiding, doing a lot of things to survive, but it is very difficult. Most of such people are deported. So if you are going there in the form of education, know that the number of hours you can work is limited. The whole week, imagine a day has 24 hours. The whole week you have 21 hours at most to work. As a student with a study permit. Unless the permit that you required or acquired has
the whole week.
The whole week. So you think you've gotten the visa? Hey, I've gotten the visa. So you are going to work. I will throw the education somewhere. Note, they write the name of the institution you are going. On the visa, it is printed on it. University of Newfoundland. It will be printed on it. You are going there from this period to that period. So anywhere you go to for work, they will look at what's your permit, where's your passport, where's your permit. Then they see you a student, they only give you casual jobs, which pay like maybe $15 per hour. So within the whole week, let's say they pay you $15 per hour, you are doing for 21 hours. Multiply it and see. You are not going to make cocaine money. Let me put it in asterisk. You are limited. So that is one consequence. You will be restricted as to how your movement will be because of what your original intentions to travel. That is a typical danger. Two, you cannot just be doing any work at all. You cannot be fully employed. No, you cannot. As I said, it will be part-time basis. So a typical one is also traveling for a tour as a tourist and then going there that you are going to stay permanently. You cannot be engaged for any form of employment, any form of work if you carry a visitor's visa to Canada or US. You cannot engage. And the one secret is that those visas are not changeable. You cannot change them whilst overseas.
You have to come back.
You have to come back and reapply for the category you want to travel to. So you cannot go there. Someone told you for visitors visa, no go do one. Will be remember not changing a year 10 years visa amount, or I have someone overseas. I'll let the person change it or change your visa to a 10-year visa. Please, you are deceived. You cannot change, especially US. You cannot go and then change the status of your visitor's visa to a working permit. No. So you are restricted. The danger is that you'll be stranded. Nobody will employ you. You'll be sleeping under the gutters. You'll be, especially if you don't have anybody there, you'll be so much stranded. And at the end, you'll be arrested and deported.
Wow.
So imagine this cost. It is better you should have traveled in the original intention or the original category you intended traveling with. Though the exception to some countries like Dubai, you can go with a visitor's visa and still do visa change easily to get work to work.
If you're a student and you
exactly,
are done with
you
school.
can still a student to add to that because of what you said. If you say most of the countries have an allowed period of time that you can stay there legally after your studies to even work, they call it internship, to have some on-job experience. Germany, for instance, allows students typically 2 years after your studies, if it is a master's or PhD student, to stay there legally to do some work, some internship, to have an exposure on field. Canada too, we have categories of the student permit, as I said. We have one that we attach a working permit to it. And those ones are academic programs that require internship or on-site work, like engineering, field work. You are going to do engineering, we are going to do project work. That require that you go to work. Such they give you a working permit in addition to your study permit. That is what they allow you with. So basically that travel right so that you will not be stranded. Don't go to US with a visitor's visa and say that you are going to survive in 2 months. You may die before your time. Go right. Nobody, I always say, people exaggerate that before you can travel, then you should have like everything, every money on this earth. No, please. You can travel without having all the money in this earth, but you'll be given your visa. Just have the right procedure. Consult a specialist or an expertise who will be able to direct you as to what to do.
Thank you very much for joining us on this week's episode of the PV Show. But then before we leave, your final words to our audience.
Okay, so as your theme rightly suggests, the survival journey, travel right and live long abroad. If you want to survive abroad, don't just go there to survive in the wrong way. I would urge you to follow your original intention of traveling. At least be closer to that. If you are going to typically work, please don't go for a visitor's visa. Go, except for some countries that you can transfer or change your status. Go for the right form of visa. And please make sure that your documents, your original documents that pertains to your age, that pertains to your identity, is not altered before you travel. Because now everything is biometric. Everything, once you put your fingerprint on the machine, every details about you will pull up. So please don't let someone, a connection man, alter your age so much. I worked on few visas recently. I nearly got an opportunity for 2 gentlemen, not knowing they had changed their ages. Imagine, from 27 to 18 years. Just think about it. Just think about it. UK. So eventually it was identified, and I told them no. If you look at the person's face on the passport that they've written 17 years, my brother, you will know that, or my sister, you will know that there is something wrong. So please don't alter things that pertain to your originality, your identity, because you have issues. A lot of people they want to pay thousands of dollars so that we force and change their documents here for them because they are stranded there. Please make sure maintain it at all costs and get through the right channel, whether by protocol or by standard application. You can still do it right. You can do protocol and do it right without altering your age or your original identity. Please be mindful of that. And then if you are doing standard 2, do it the right way. And make sure that you are aware of all that is required before you apply to avoid being denied severally. You get frustrated.
Okay, lastly, I mean, this just came in.
Okay.
So assuming there is a mistake on your, birth cert.
Okay.
Or you did some changes previously. I'm asking because of someone I know.
Okay.
What happens next? Is it possible you can make certain changes again?
Okay. It depends on the kind of mistakes that occurred on your birth cert. Typically, date of birth, the age. Okay. As soon as you do it and you identify there is a problem, you send it quickly to the person who assisted you. They will go back to correct it for you. Some will require that you get an affidavit on it, and then they will change it for you. Don't wait till you've gotten your passport already, then you are going back to alter it. It will be difficult. You will need a gazette and all that. You get it to publish that you've changed your date. So it is possible to change it. Go through the person who changed it, or consult any other person who does that, will be able to assist you with an affidavit. Yes. So travel right so that you can stay and enjoy. You will see the police or the cab, and then you'll be confident to say hello to them. You will not be running. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you also for staying tuned to this particular program. It was a great session we had with Miss Abigail Opoku, and she is the managing director of Joylink Travel Consult. Just in case you want to travel abroad, I mean, she's the best person you can talk to, that I know of. She's the best person you can talk to. Just travel right, do the right thing, get the right documents, and you are very fine. So just in case you want to get in touch with her for any traveling business, traveling business, you can call her on
020-469-7184. 020-469-7184. 7184.
Okay, and what if, I mean, the person wants
you can
to
also
get to
check
your
us, or you can just type Joylink Travel Consult online. Everything, our social media handle, we have websites well constructed to help. Everything is online. Just type Joylink Travel Consult. Joylink Travel Consult. Joylink Travel Consult, and you'll be led to all our social media handles, our Facebook account, all of it, to contact us directly. Even our website, we have our handle, that is our what do you call it, WhatsApp handle integrated there. You can just click on it and directly get into our account.
Okay.
So if you miss the number, just go to the website Joylink Travel Consult Limited, then click on the WhatsApp handle there. It will bring you straight to our WhatsApp account.
All right. Yes. Thank you very much for joining us. Until we come back your way same time next week, make sure you wash your hand with soap and the running water. Use your nose mask, sanitize your hand frequently. Make sure you stay safe. Remember to subscribe to the PV show.